Okay, good morning. Thank you. I was just listening to Commissioners TDS and HP. Yesterday we were talking about the big data and IoT. What is one common thing you need for all of these applications to run? Any idea? Pardon? Connectivity, right? And so that's what we are in. So that's the business what we are going to, that's the business what we are in, and that's what I'm going to talk about that, okay? So our core markets, we are into 4 markets. One is I will talk from the data center networks. And so today, whatever the big data you say or the storage you say, you need them to be stored or you need them in a place that's called as the data center, right? And so we provide the data center networks. And then the commercial buildings, all your offices, the campuses, the big analytics software offices, everything comes under commercial buildings. And then the wireless networks, here we talk about the wireless means from the service provider to all your phones, okay? So today we are talking about 4G, right? And most of you might be aware that already the work has started for 5G. And so Commscope is a pioneer doing a lot of work behind for the 5G networks, right? And so we provide the connectivity from the service provider to your subscriber phones, okay? So we provide the antennas, we provide the base stations, we provide the connectivity and all those kind of things. And then the wireline networks is what you call it as FTTX, and so you can put all the ABCD into that variable. So we have FTTH, FTTA, and FTTC, FTTD. So we have all those kind of solutions in the wireline segment. So just to touch upon, you can see some of the products here. I will start from the commercial networks, and so here you can see the solution of this one, this one. Here you can see this is for the enterprise segment, and then you have the FTTH and the data center, and of course the antenna or the 5G network solutions, right? So what I'm going to talk about is I've picked up 2 solutions from our entire gamut which might be of interest to you. Okay, now one is the powered fiber cable system. So now in today's scenario, security becomes very, very important, right? Whether you are in a single building or whether you are in a campus, security is predominant. It's very key. So what is the maximum distance any Ethernet cable can drive to connect your surveillance camera or an access point or anything, any device, any Ethernet connected device? Any idea? Yeah, it's 100 meters, right? And so now in a big campus or even in your building, if you want to put a camera outside your building, and so how do you extend your reach? That's always a question, right? And so our idea is to make it very simple, right? And you can do it in a complex way, and you will end up like this, right? So you will have a media converter. Maybe you put it on a pole. You put the pole, and then today you can use the pole in multiple ways. You don't have to have a dedicated pole for every dedicated services. So you can have the access camera, you can have the small cell, or you can even have the access point, wireless access point, and then you run a fiber up to that, right? And then put that fiber and you make a media converter and put all these things in IP rated boxes because you have to put it outside your campus or in an outside environment. And then you need to run a power to power up all these things, right? So that's where all the issues starts coming up. Imagine the maintenance you need to keep this up and running. So what we are trying to do is here we have a solution. It can drive up to 3 kilometers on a single fiber and put this kind of box. You can see here on this top of that, you can put this kind of box which is IP67 rated box. Just run one fiber cable and put it outside, and you don't even need to run a fiber. You don't need to run a power, okay? So with a power over Ethernet, which is about 15 watts of power, you can run up to 3 kilometers. If it is 30 watts, which is PoE plus, you can run up to 1.6 kilometers. And if you have PoE plus, you can run up to 650 meters. And so we beat the Ethernet standard of 90 meters or 100 meters limitation, right? And so this is one of the good solution which can really extend your Ethernet connectivity, and you can put any kind of services over it. And we also have a live demo of this. You can find your time to check that out, right? So imagine this is how it's going to be installed outside. This is all from live installations, and you can see how good it will be, right? And then the second solution is called as the automated infrastructure management. We are talking about a lot of automation in the past couple of days. This one solution which tries to automate, which tries to give you a lot of insights into your physical layer infrastructure. And here you can see that this gives you the end-to-end connectivity. So today it is not possible, whether in a data center or in your network. Now, how do you know from your desk? It goes all the way to some room, right? A room where full of cables are there. So how do you know how is it connected, to which switch port it is connected, and to which patch panel it is connected? You know, it's always a mess, right? For those people who are in this side of the spectrum. So now this solution tries to give you the complete connectivity portfolio. It gives you the complete end-to-end connectivity. So the idea is once you have the end-to-end connectivity, then you can do a lot of things. And so you can keep alerts, you can create a database, you can have asset management, you can have the configuration management, you can have the incident management and the change management itself. And so you have a lot of things which you can do, which gives you the complete control over your network, right? And here you can see these are all some of the components. You have the copper panels, which is intelligent today. You have fiber panels, which is intelligent. And you also have something called as a controller, which gives you the complete network display of how it is connected and what are the devices it is connected. And so we try to go beyond the physical layer. We also try to give you some of the data from the layer 2 and layer 3, and also sometimes on what is the application running there, so that you put an alert if that application is critical. So that even if it's a VM, and if the particular VM shuts down for some reason, you get an alert, how it is connected, where is it connected, so that you go and try to rectify that issue, right? And so from our point of view, from feedbacks received from so many of the customers' point of view, the infrastructure, what you are building today, it has to be simple to use, right? And it should be scalable. This is very, very important, because if you talk about the data center today, the data center bandwidth, the connectivity between your servers and switches has enormously gone up in the recent couple of years. Like 2 years back, we were talking about a 10 gig access to UD access switches. That means from your desk to the switch, it was about 10 gig, right? And so that means the backbone should be much higher. We were talking about 40 gig in the backbone connectivity. Then came the 100 gig. And now suddenly you see a shift. In 2018, the new standard was ratified, or which was published, which talks about 200 and 400 gig, right? And so now, when you are building a data center today, are you going to build it for 40 gig or are you going to build it for 400 gig, right? So that question you have to be able to answer. And you know, the height of it is it doesn't stop there. Still you will find some more standards coming up, some more connectivity coming up, right? And it should be flexible to change. And the complexity keeps increasing. Now, if you are keeping it as a 40 gig or a 100 gig, you have the connectivity option is enormous today. It is not a point to point. It gives you option of point to multi-point, and you have so much of protocols and GBICs available. And the most important thing is it should be able to manage it intelligently, right? So that's how the infrastructure should be. And so now our passion in Commscope is to shape the network of the future. And as you can see, some of the products and solutions what we brought in. I didn't touch the solutions from the data center point of view, but like all the data rates, all the bandwidths, we support the solutions. And so our passion is to shape the networks of the future. So now to support that statement, what we did is in Commscope, the Commscope company was founded in 1976. when the two-way broadcast radio was very popular. That was the communication, right? And then came the cable TV networks, and of course from 2008, the internet explosion started, and then you had all the other things as mobility and digital revolution and everything. So to support this technology change, what Commscope did is in 2004, the Systemax brand name was occurred. 2008, Andrew, that is the antennas and base station and array antennas, everything. And then 2015, the AMP Net Connect, the Krone brands was occurred, and 2017, we are still on the way of doing a lot of things. You will see a lot of change in the spectrum coming up maybe in the next quarter. So now, as a financial, we are about $5 billion company as of now, which will change in the next quarter. One more acquisition is coming up, right? And so that's what Commscope is. We are in the market for more than 40 years, and we provide the connectivity in wired as well as the wireless spectrum, right? So now, when I say wired, any kind of network, whatever be the bandwidth, whatever be the connectivity, we provide the solution there, right? So our basic idea is to help to build any type of applications, any type of intelligence, and we support it in terms of the, the warranties and etc. So our aim is to shape the networks. We do a lot of things in the standards, and so today, that's one of our key expertise. When you want to build something, we can tell you what is coming up next. So then we allow you to decide. We say that, okay, now is it good or bad if you want to do it for today or you want to build it also for tomorrow, right? And we give you better connections because you have so much of options available. We try to clear some of the confusions there, and you can optimize the bandwidth with our help, right? So what Commscope is more than $200 million. We put it in annual revenue, annual R&D, so that we bring in a lot of new products. More than 10,000 patents in this particular industry. You can imagine, people say cable is a cable, right? But once you come in, you will know what are the differences there. And we have more than 100 field application engineers around the globe, where we go to the field and we help the partners and customers to build the network. More than 30 global manufacturing locations across the world. The nearest one is in Goa. We have our own manufacturing facility where we make the cables, we make the fiber, as well as we make the base station antennas. We have a lot of installations, and the most important thing is we are serving more than 100 countries, and so that helps to share our expertise between the customers or between the installations, right? So you can see this is one of our installations. This is in one of our offices, and so our aim is to power the present, but at the same time empower the future, okay? So that's Commscope for you. I think I'm done on time. Thank you very much. Thank you.